Give it up.
Hey, keep it going for our host tonight. Doing great. I didn't know it was so cold in here. You dress up like you're going to the Antarctica, but it's okay. Being back in California is so great. Live in Arizona with my family, or we call it cheap California. It's great having a house, the whole thing, pretty wonderful stuff. I got married 11 years ago. We married 11 years, and we had some, we tried some, something different when we started our marriage. We decided that I was going to make all the major decisions, and my wife, I was going to make all the minor decisions. She was going to make all the major decisions. I butchered that. Let me start over. Got married 11 years ago, and we decided I was going to make all the major decisions, and she was going to make all the minor decisions. And actually, it's been working out really well for us. This is advice we give to other couples. 11 years of marriage, we've never had a single major decision that we've had to make. I asked her, babe, is this a major? This isn't a major decision. Is this one a major? No, this is a minor decision. So luckily, I haven't had to really make any decisions at all. I grew up in one of those families where my mom always told us that she was praying for our future spouse. She said, always say, Justin, I'm praying for your wife. And as a kid, that sounds kind of weird, praying for my wife, like praying to get a new bike. But as soon as I hit puberty, I was always checking in with her. You're still praying for her? Like, I actually have some thoughts. Have you praying for this? I showed her some photos that I had, kind of some specifics that I had in mind for the future. My mom always prayed for me, which actually is really a really nice thing. She always prayed. She always used to pray, I hope that one day you have a son just like you. Which you might hear that as a blessing. It also kind of sounds like a threat. It sounds kind of a bad kid. And luck, as you'd have it, I actually ended up having a son, just like God answered that prayer. I had a son just like me. And I told my son I was super nervous today, coming to California to do some stand-up. And he said, Dad, people are going to laugh the second you walk on stage. And he's just such a sweet kid, but it's true. God does answer prayers. My mom passed away 5 years ago. Now, we didn't pray for her to die. I'm sure someone did. She had a lot of enemies. She was kind of a harsh woman, to be honest with you. And but she had a really good life, a really full life. She's in a box in my closet, her ashes. So she has a really good shelf life now. But a lot of great memories I had with her. I love making sand castles with her. My wife told me I had to stop because it kept clogging the vacuum, but And my son, it's just like me. He starts telling jokes. All right, he starts trying to be funny and learning some jokes to tell. And you all say something to him, about his mom, something really nice, and he'll say something like, "I bet you wish you still had a mom." Burn. I know. He has no limits. I've been really busy. He'll come to me and I'll say, "Hey, go ask your mom." And then I'll go to him with a question, and he'll say, "Go ask your mom." Which again, it's just total savage kid. I hate being pitched business opportunities. I don't know if anyone has people in their lives that they always kind of have a new business opportunity for them. Some people, they're just missing the closeness meter. Like, they think we're closer than we are. I have people like this in my life. They're not close enough to send me a Christmas card, but if I had $50K to burn, they're really super close to me then. They'd love to spend my money. And a business opportunity that you will love. That's how they always start. I have a business opportunity that you're going to love. I don't even like the conversation I'm having, but they have a business opportunity that I'm absolutely going to love. I'm barely tolerating the conversation that we're having, but it'll be a business opportunity that I love. They don't even know what I like. I hate so many things. It's actually really hard to pick a business opportunity that I love. There's a lot of pastors out there. I'm actually a pastor, so I do love all these Jesus jokes. The guy from The Chosen opened up tonight. I love that. Love that. You have to clap for that. Thank you. And one of the best part, one of the things that got me hooked as I got older was, Jesus the guy was all about wine. He's always having wine with his friends. You turn water into wine. But I've been a pastor for years, and I realized there are a lot of other pastors that they just like taking communion a little too much. To the point where you're kind of sitting with them, they're like, man, I think I have a communion problem. I'm like, dude, I think you have a drinking problem, actually. It's a tough deal. Just working on the spiritual disciplines every day, a bottle a day. Bottle a day. Like, I get, what are you doing to strengthen your spiritual life? Oh, I joined a wine club. And it's like, really? How's that going for you? I can't remember last week, but all right. I drive around with my kids all the time. I have 4 kids. Okay, it's no joke. None of them are adopted. Okay? The natural way. Driving around, and one of my sons, as we drive around Phoenix, certain parts of Phoenix, there's homeless people. And you see him, and it's tough because he asks you, like, hey, Dad, what's going on with that guy? Why is he homeless? Like, what is it being homeless? And I realize it's actually difficult to explain homelessness to a 7-year-old so it doesn't sound like an aspirational goal. Well, they live out there on the street, and they in tents, and they live in tents on the street. Like, well, yeah, but they live there by themselves. Like, there's no, their parents aren't there. Their parents aren't there. Well, yeah, but there's places they'll get food and stuff, but they also, it's also really good. They have to do a lot of walking. Like, oh, I'll do a lot of walking if there's no parents there. That's a really good deal. And I try and make it not an aspirational goal, but I feel like I'm screwing it up. The kid likes camping, and it sounds like a really good deal. My wife, she's at home with the 4 kids. And that's always tough. It's always dicey because you're kind of counting the cost. Once you leave your wife home with 4 kids, when you get back, you're not coming back to a happy person. You come back to a very, very angry person. Right? There's not going to be a lot of high fives. There's going to be a lot of dishes, a lot of clothes to fold. But I'm okay with that. And honestly, she's really not that complicated of a person. Right? She's very smart. She's super wise. She's very loving. But if I can bullseye your emotions based on the reels you're sending me, you're not complicated. She's not a complicated person. If I only get a few, I know that she's been working really hard all day with the kids. I know it's not going to be a great night. If I get a ton from her, I know she's had a pretty lax day. Okay. If I get a bunch of home improvement DIY reels, I know I'm going to have a very busy weekend. She sends me a bunch of things with kids. I know that a bunch of my money's going to be spent. And if she sends me like a bunch of like the romantic, a bunch of the spicy ones, I know that she's gonna have a headache that night. Yeah. So just being a dad, it's tough. My own dad, he left when I was young. Okay, he left when I was young. Missed out on a lot. Missed out on a lot of awesome. And he texted me like 10 years ago. Okay? Last time he texted me. Let me just set the stage for this guy. Mom passed away, is very sad, texted me and said, hey, is there any money left from the sale of her house? Okay, this is the kind of guy, right? And by the way, there's no money for him. I took it all. But classy guy, right? Classy guy. I haven't talked to this guy in 10 years, texted me recently. Sitting there with my wife, and I get the text message, and I look at my phone, I flip it right back over. The first line says, I'm dying, and I just flip it over. I turn off my wife, says, wait, what's she texting you about? What's going on? I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm not talking to this guy. She's like, you should look. What if it's something important? So I take another quick look. I'm dying to talk to you. And I flip it back over again. I'm like, I'm not reading the rest of this. I know it's garbage. And she has this smug look on her face, like she's right. Okay, she knows that it's important, that she was right to tell me. And then I finished reading the text message. I'm dying to see you. I have a business opportunity you're gonna love. Hey, tonight's been great. I love you guys. Let's get ready for some more comedy.